ASTRAEOS just got a major update, and we finally get our first real look at the new Scorched area. We can't access it yet, but there are already some insane details and good potential base spots hidden. So before the zone fully opens up, here's 10 amazing spots to be on the lookout for. Now this first location is a bit of an interesting one. Figured I'd kind of start with some of the more boring ones, and just kind of work our way up to the really good ones. This first one is more of a smaller-ish kind of cave, but I figured I'd kind of put it in here because I don't think a lot of people really noticed this one. So over here you have your main entrance right here, and it is a bit of a crouch entrance in a way. I mean, yes, you can fit a character standing over here, but for the most part, I mean, it looks to be a little bit of a smaller entrance, but to be fair, I am in camera mode, it's hard to really tell. Now, when you first enter into here, you have this first little hallway and it kind of curves its way around, which is pretty spacious. I mean, you have a lot of room for turrets or just, for a little base. Then here is your main room in here. So it's nothing too wild for, the size range, but overall, I mean, it's got a good chunk of room just to kind of put some stuff in here, but it's kind of one of the okay caves. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of better caves, hopefully, in the future. So far, as of now, this is one of the first finished caves that you can actually see. So overall, it's not horrible. And with how intense this Scorched style zone gets, you're going to want something that keeps you a little bit calm and more hydrated through the process, which is where Mitra 9 comes in. Mitra 9 is a non-alcoholic supplement that quite literally makes you feel good. These drinks give you a high, but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being root beer. If you're looking for a new drink to replace your coffee in the morning, Mitra is the way to go. Simply go to mitra9.com and use my code OUTCAST for 25% off your entire order. Now, back to the video. Now we're going to work our way up to one of the bit of, better locations on this map. Sadly, the cave side of it is not even really built at all, so I don't really have too much to show you on the inside. But look at this entrance. I mean, wow, the level of detail for this main entrance for this just base is kind of insane. Now, I think this might be a little boss arena area too as well, just because, you have these statues out front. It's gotta mean something in here, not to mention you have a big one up here. Now this is a really cool little aspect that he should have added with the other parts of ASTRAEOS. I do love this a lot though, and that is the kind of statue, the Roman statue symbols that you would normally see in the timelines and stuff, with these little areas on the top. I mean, it's showing an entire war zone going on up here. Now, you got your little archer down, well, I mean, you got your little archer right there, you got a man down, you even have a horse up here, as well as somebody trying to fight the horse. Got your main statue in the middle, little archer trying to shoot the other side over there, it looks like. A guy holding a spear, another guy holding a spear and a shield, well, they're both holding them. And then you have another guy that's just down over here. These do tell kind of a really cool story. I do like this a lot. Just the level of detail that he is putting into the rest of this map is actually pretty insane. Now, like I said, the inside is not built at all. There's nothing, it kind of just ends here, sadly. But we do have a lot more to cover over here. I mean, first of all, we got these same kind of pillars. These look phenomenal. I just absolutely love these. But down here, it kind of turns into these little homes or just little areas to build stuff. And they're actually pretty big. I mean, you have a lot of room to work within these. And not to mention, they're 3 stories high. It's going to be interesting to see what some people do with these, but I mean, overall it's pretty insane. And it does look like it almost was gonna have a bridge, but he decided not to go that route. I mean, you guys can probably build bridges on them anyways though. But yeah, you have 2 of these, which is pretty cool. It makes for an interesting layout for just a massive base. Lots of room over here you can build, and then there's 2 main statues kind of guarding the entrance, which are just the shield guys with the spears, or the whatever you want to call them. I don't entirely know. Now down here you do have some ruins as well for some just abandoned little bases that were kind of left behind, which is kind of cool. It's a nice little touch. Down here you got 3 more, it looks like, and I don't think these really have too much in them. Yeah, it's just more kind of ruins. And then down here you have a little kind of ramp that leads you right up to the base. I think this location is probably going to be one of the better ones on this map, and I would definitely keep an eye out for whenever the map launches. Try and get your hands on this spot if you can. It's a pretty good one. Next up, we have this area right over here. So you can see your statue is right there just for reference. But here's this main area. So you have an interesting type of entrance. This is a much bigger kind of canyon styled. And then when you come down into here, you have this little area. Now at first I thought it was just kind of a bit of ruins or something for, a little abandoned thing. But no, there's a full-on cave inside of here. So you have these 2 statues kind of, guiding you in, which is pretty cool. Got a little staircase, and you have a tiny little courtyard with some stairs. Almost as if this was a coliseum in a way that got buried. At least that's what I would kind of imagine it sort of being. It's hard to tell. But yeah, here's your main entrance. Very, very tiny entrance. So for you PvP players, this might be a pretty decent cave. And guess what? This cave is actually, for the most part, kind of built. So when you first enter into here, you have a lot of room and a lot of just stuff being tossed at you right away. All right, so there's fog turned off just to kind of help. Also gonna put gamma up so you can see a little bit better in this cave. But yeah, you have a nice little staircase kind of leading you down, but be careful, there is a hole in it. Okay, luckily you can't fall into this abyss. I would imagine this is gonna be like a death barrier down there, but who knows. So when you're coming down into here, you have a lot of room. It's a bit more complex in here. There's not a lot of room to kind of work with, if you know what I'm talking about, for like the PvP standpoint. This is more of a PvE styled cave. Now you do have a couple platforms down here, but yeah, it's all surrounded by this abyss, so I would imagine that that is a kill zone. And when you come over here, you have some more ruins back in here, and I'm gonna go over here first because I think this leads farther down. Yeah, okay, so that leads farther down, so let's explore the rest of this room and then we'll go down there. Over here you have some bioluminescence in here, which does kind of actually make this cave interesting, because you know, at first you're like, oh, this is cool, but adding the bioluminescence kind of adds that interesting little filter to it, I will say that. And over here, I think it keeps going. No, it doesn't. It stops there. And then you go underwater. You have a nice little underwater area you can breed a couple dinos in. But for the most part, I think this is more of just an exploration styled cave. I don't think a lot of people are really going to build in here, but who knows when the map comes out. This cave actually might, you know, get a bit of a revamp or something. Now down here is your second little area with your second room. And it goes two different ways, it looks like. The first way being over here. Ooh, okay, goes right up in here. I think it stops though. Yeah, it does stop right here, so most likely like an artifact or something's gonna be inside of there. Going back down here, we have this area that we just showed, but let's see what happens when we go down into here. Got some more bioluminescence. It's a little bit hard to see though with the lighting and all that, but this is my first time exploring this cave really with you guys. I explored a little bit of it, but not the entire thing. Looks like you have another death pit down there. And it does look like it goes up. Interesting layout. I've never seen that with, you know, one of the ASTRAEOS caves before. So it does go up, and okay, yeah, it does keep going. I thought it ended. It does keep going up to here, and yeah, that is it. So, and not a really great PvP cave. Definitely a PvE system. You're gonna have maybe another artifact up here or some drops. But who knows? He might add quite a bit of stuff to this cave. Interesting layout though, but I mean for PvP, I mean it's not an awful layout if you're looking to build more, you know, as like a solo or duo maybe. But for the most part, it's an okay cave. I'll just give it that. Next up, we have this little other cave that I kind of came across just for reference. Here's your surrounding area, so you can kind of look for this when the map comes out. Another big statue up there. But yeah, here's your main entrance down here. Decently smaller entrance as well. Probably the size of a bit bigger than a regular, just like, you know, a dino gate or something. This cave actually has some room in it, I won't lie. You have a lot of flat land down in here. Good chunk of room. You do have a big pillar kind of blocking too. So for PvP, it's an again, it's an cave. I mean, you can work with the entrance here, but it's just like, you know, it's hard to really justify a lot of these PvP spots anymore, to be fair. Pretty big cave though if you're looking just to kind of build more secluded, kind of just have all your stuff in here. This is kind of an interesting spot. But yeah, I mean, that's about it for this area. There's not too much else, I don't think, around. But yeah, I would just say another PvE spot. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. And now we're going to cover the more not so finished part of this map, just to kind of show you a couple other, you know, spots that are over here. This being one of them. So he put down the structure here for this, but as you can see around, there's literally no detail. There's nothing about what this area is going to even look like. So this is going to look drastically different than when the map actually does launch officially. But you have this little bridge over here. It's like kind of a white style too. I believe that might just be a rough sketch of it though. I think it's just like a rough draft and it might get converted into like how some of the other structures look over there. But overall, I mean, you have a nice little entrance down here and the main, you know, layout is here. So you are at least gonna know what this is gonna look like. Got little windows over here. I'm sure there's gonna be ruins and stuff in here as well. It's not gonna be this bland. But for the most part, you have a good amount of room. It also has 2 stories as well, which is pretty interesting. You do have this little area down here as well. It's kind of like behind the stairs or something. So you can go, yeah, so you can go under the stairs. That's a cool little layout that he put for that. Coming upstairs, you have the second area with a good chunk of room. Again, this probably is going to look a lot different, but for the most part, I think the same layout will probably be here. Oh, it does keep going upstairs even more too. This looks like it's maybe a part of the watchtower part of it, or just like the bigger tower area. It does go onto the roof here as well. That's okay. This is actually kind of a cool little layout. I do actually like this a lot. But yeah, it does keep going up. You even have your little windows. Yeah, so you have a little watchtower here. Got windows, and it keeps going all the way up to the top. This is a cool little castle. I actually like this. This is going to be really cool when this launches. Yeah, so who knows what people are going to do with this one, but I think this base will be pretty cool. There's probably going to be some other stuff down there alongside with it, but definitely a cool little base spot that I would look out for as well. Then next up, we have this little area, which is kind of like a little bit of like a water grotto kind of system in a way. It can be found on this massive little mountain cliff thing, whatever you want to call this, but it has a direct access straight into the ocean, and it comes down over here. So I actually like this one a good bit too, because it feels more like, you know, like the docks, like where you would park just a giant ship or something. I do like it. But yeah, you first entered into here. Nothing too much really in the water, just kind of goes down slightly, but not like any underwater systems or anything. But yeah, over here, you have this main area. It kind of brings you around, and this brings you down. Okay, so that's like your main entrance if you're like walking into here. Coming up this ramp, it kind of goes around here in a little circle and brings you up into like the main area. Now, for the most part, I don't think this spot is too relatively large, just kind of a little grotto hidden area, which is nice. But yeah, it does kind of just end up here, sadly. Like, there's nothing where it really goes. But hey, pretty nice little area if you're looking to like build, you know, ships with like some big mods or something, or you just use the, you know, ASTRAEOS like ship mods that they have. It would make for a pretty cool little base layout if somebody could figure out how to build, you know, docks and stuff out here. I think it would work very well. Now we have something that I was really hoping for on this map, and that is pyramids. We have one of the main pyramids over here, and this one's interesting. I'm trying to figure out if this is going to be a different type of obelisk, because it does have the main obelisk, you know, part on top of it. So it just makes me wonder, will this be a massive obelisk, or, you know, what will this thing, you know, actually be? But yeah, around here you have, it's more of like a sunken styled pyramid. So the majority of it's kind of sunken down. You have the statues also sunken with it, which is kind of a cool little touch. But around here you got little flowers on top, you got ruins all surrounding it, almost like, you know, it's kind of in a war or something. It is really cool. It kind of plays into like the Greek mythology style of this map perfectly well. I think this pyramid is a really nice touch. Hopefully he'll add a lot more of these, because I would love to see just massive pyramids on this map. I think that would really play into it and build kind of a cool little backstory. Now down in here, you do have a main entrance in here, which is pretty cool. You have a like kind of catacomb styled area in here with a bunch of skulls and stuff laying around. I think that's awesome. It was similar to the Fjordor layout, how the catacombs are, you know, in the back of the cave. But yeah, it does kind of wrap around, and you do have a little interesting thing on the wall here. Now this is really cool. This goes over, I think, everybody that was working on the map, I believe. I believe it is, for the most part. Yeah, it has a lot of different names. I don't really recognize too many of these people though. But yeah, pretty cool little layout here. You have a really interesting little piece of art as well, kind of showing a bunch of different characters. That looks like Patrick almost from SpongeBob. You have little cats on the walls as well, people, a little dragon or something. Interesting thing. I would kind of wonder if this is gonna play into like the actual map itself, because you have, you know, futuristic things here, like with a movie piece and all that. So yeah, it does make you wonder, is this gonna stay in the map, or is this just here as like a little you know, Easter egg for people to find that are just exploring this part of the map? So who knows for that part. Now around here, you do have these little furnaces as well, but around, I think it circles the same distance. Yeah, is there anything in the middle though? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Oh, we have stuff in the middle. We have other pieces of art. Yeah, this stuff's definitely not going to go into the main game, I don't think. I think this is just artwork kind of for the Easter egg before the map officially, you know, launches the rest of this. This is cool. It's a little artwork that I'm guessing fans probably made for the map. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot. Is there any more in here? Oh yeah, okay, so there's a whole nother room. I'm gonna put the gamma up a little bit so you guys can see this. But look at all this. That is so cool. Wow, somebody made a, wow, that is insanely, look at the depth on that. That's pretty cool. You have a Meguna over here. That's my boy. That's SirDrip. SirDrip, if you're watching this, that's my thumbnail artist. He's been making a lot of our newer video thumbnails. Huge shout out to SirDrip for that one. Dude is a very talented guy. If you guys ever need any thumbnails, hit him up. But yeah, if you do notice, the majority of my thumbnails are being made by him now. So got this one. That's a cool, nice one. Oh, that's really cool, actually. Somebody made like I would imagine this was probably made by a kid or something. You may gonna be me. What? This is cool though. He has little Easter eggs in here. Yeah, this stuff's definitely not gonna stay, I don't think, for the official launch of it. It would be kind of cool if it did though, but who knows? I mean, we had that with, I think it was Fjordor at the time. Yeah, I think it was Fjordor. We had that little area with all of like his supporters, and that stayed in the official map. So who knows? But yeah, so this little pyramid is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get more stuff like this, but this is more of just like kind of a monument, I think, more than just kind of a base area, but who knows? It might turn into a base area. Next up, we have this little area just kind of in the middle of the desert over here. And this is actually, I believe it's a cave slash just little system that goes underground here. I have actually not looked at this one, so I'm looking at this one completely with you guys. So down here, it kind of brings you into this little area with this ramp and actually leads you into a very, very tight entrance, which kind of wraps around here. You have some more bioluminescence, but this time it's red bioluminescence, not the white ones. This is a cool layout. You got these little things. These are from Genesis, I believe, like that little layout area. Now it wraps around. It looks like it goes two different ways. Let's go this way. I think it probably all leads the same. Yeah, okay, so it all does lead the same way. Kind of wraps you through here and brings you back out. Yeah, okay, so it brings you back out into the open. You have more of these little extinction tube pieces. I don't know what they're called. And it keeps going. Now we do run into a fork here, so I'm gonna go right, and we'll probably have to go back and see the other area down there. Does keep going, and yeah, okay, this part ends. Oh wait, does it? Yeah, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to the other area. And this area does look like it does keep going down as well. Oh wow, okay, this opens up into a massive, oh my god, this is a massive room actually. It does keep going off to the side. I'll have to check out all the little side pieces here in a second. But look at the scale of this thing. Lots of room for a base to fit in here very comfortably. Would imagine there's probably going to be another artifact in here. Does it keep going? I'm pretty sure it probably keeps going. Yeah, it does. So it does keep going down into here. And okay, this part is not finished yet. So this is probably the rest of it, I would imagine. Just to show you for scale, it probably does keep going in my opinion. I would imagine he wouldn't just stop it there, but who knows? Now, does it keep going up here? Yes, it does keep going up here, and it enters into. Okay, no. So this goes back into your main area. All right. Where did that little side room go? So here's this little side room. Does this lead back into another zone? Oh wait, is this where I said that it ended? Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't end there. It circles around, I believe. Is this the same area? Oh, no. Okay, so this is a different area. It just kind of brings you above. Definitely an interesting layout for a cave, but I mean, what do you guys think? I don't know. Could be a good PvP spot, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it has a little story whenever, you know, the map officially comes out. We'll see. Now, this one is more of kind of a little bonus that I figured I would kind of toss in because there's literally nothing finished with this part at all. So, little bonus for you guys. But over here, when you have that first little thing that we kind of went over with that little white castle, if you come over here by the water, there's actually this little area. It's like a little hidden grotto again, but this one looks to be a lot bigger. Now, this could be a bug, but I think it has entrances. I mean, for the most part, it looks like it's got different entrances on it. But yeah, it does kind of go around in here, and there's literally nothing. That's why I kind of added it as a little bonus. Because, yeah, kind of hard to tell how big this is. I would imagine it probably ends around here. But it's got 3 different entrances. I think it's probably going to be a good spot. And for the most part, I mean, it has the little vibrant pieces that kind of shows it has entrances. So who knows? Might be a little something to look out for when the map launches. Again, we have another kind of just one I figured I would toss in here, but I do want to show off the terrain as well over there. There's just kind of a little bonus in here just to show you some more spots. But we do have this cave that is directly up here on top of this mountain. This is giving off the same style as North Ice off the center, if that kind of makes sense to you. Well, it has the same kind of styled entrance, but this would probably be the rough scale of it. So not as big, which is kind of a good thing. But this is going to be a massive cave. I'm already calling it right now. This is going to be just a dramatically massive cave. Now, it doesn't really have a big ramp that leads you up to here. Oh, I know. Okay, it actually does have a little bit of a ramp, but nothing too crazy. More of the fact, I kind of want to show you this little area over here just to show you what this area probably is going to be. Now, I'd imagine this is all going to be lava down here. And it's going to be like the volcanic region. Considering you already have some down there, I would imagine it's going to keep playing into this. And maybe this top piece might be turned into a volcano, but at the same time, I don't know, because he already kind of has the main layout here. So, who knows? But I do want to show you these two zones over here. This is the Wyvern Scar that he built. Just to show you, this is pretty crazy. This thing looks wild. I mean, you have a lot of area in here, and probably one of the more complex Wyvern styled areas. Definitely be on the lookout for that, because that's going to be pretty cool. And then along with that, we have this little area, which is like in a little extinction kind of zone. I like it quite a bit. Has that really nice extinction layout, and to be honest with you, I think he did a better job with this than they did with Extinction's wasteland area. This looks pretty amazing. So yeah, this is probably going to be a gas bag spawn, and probably a spawn for a couple other extinction dinos, I would imagine, like some velos and stuff. Well, actually, that would make sense for the whole desert, because velos spawn around the whole desert. But yeah, I like this a lot. This is going to be a really cool little feature. And hopefully it has, you know, the big things that shoot you super high up into the sky as well. Figured I'd just kind of put it in as just a little teaser just to show you, you know, what all will be coming. And then finally, we have one of the better spots on this map. It is not complete though. It's kind of similar to that first one that I showed you all the way over there. Well, one of the first ones, you know, with the really great ruins out front. This is another one of those kind of styled ones. So over here, you have your main walkway that kind of leads you up. And you have the giant golden statue, kind of like, stop, do not enter, like you shall not pass, about to spark and kick you into a pit or something. But yeah, over here you are surrounded by these really interesting statues. I think this actually makes this look pretty insane. It looks like a literal like empire is in this cave. So yeah, you're surrounded with these statues again. You have some more golden ones, kind of like, do not pass. And then you got more golden ones down in here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It has little fenced off areas, so you can kind of like sit up here and watch people and all that. It's kind of cool though. The same thing is replicated on the opposite side, as well as you kind of have a bit of an overhang that like got abandoned, it got ruined and fell down or something. So yeah, over here is your main entrance into the cave. Very tiny entrance, so maybe a good PvP spot. But unfortunately, the cave is nowhere to be found. So yeah, cave is not complete yet. But I have a feeling that's going to be a pretty good cave as well when the map is out. So you have a lot of amazing spots that you should definitely be looking for when ASTRAEOS comes out. I think it may be some of the best PvP spots and just phenomenal PvE spots. I mean, just for aesthetically wise, these are just gorgeous locations. I think this is a really good job with what he's doing with the, you know, with the wasteland slash scorched part of this map. It's going to be a very interesting biome to say for sure. So yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, I think he did a phenomenal job with this so far. Even though ASTRAEOS has been taking a lot longer than we expected to get the full, you know, portion of the map, considering it's $15, I think it's actually really good. I think this map's probably going to be the best map on ARK in my honest opinion, other than Lost Colony, but we don't even know anything about Lost Colony yet. But yeah, in my honest opinion, ASTRAEOS is #1 for me. I'm just gonna be honest, because of the just sheer scale of it. It has what a total, I think, with all the new caves. I mean, we don't know the new total, but if it has the amount that he put with all the other regions, that's like 30 to 45 caves or something. It's just insane with the amount of base spots that you have, the amount of detail that you have, and with the amount of stuff that you have to do on this map. It's pretty insane. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Just kind of wanted to cover 10 just amazing little spots that I found that you should definitely be on the lookout for when the map launches. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, and please hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.